All right, well, plan with the Jeep today because I got shocks for the rear finally. Well, I got that a couple weeks ago. A week ago? I don't know. Number of days ago of an unknown amount that I could look up, but I'm not going to. So we get those rear shocks on there because the bushings were completely shot on these existing ones. So I'm going to get the new Bilsteins on the back. Hopefully that'll feel better. Get the steering dampener on the front as well. Should be quick and dirty. Weld up, hopefully, if I remember, before I leave, before I pull this out of here, weld up the exhaust hanger that's rattling on the back. Super annoying. Should just be a little, a little practice my welding. I need to get on that, and it'll be a good warm up for welding the bumper, which I'm probably not going to get to tonight. And I also want to play with the Maverick a little bit. Those are my things that I'm going to try to do today, tonight, this evening. We'll see how long it takes, you know? Could it take anywhere from, I could get somewhere between a little and a lot to done, depending on how poorly it all goes. All right, these look super easy to get at. It's just a little T-bar up here that you can't see past my hand. And just a bolt here. And these ones, this guy sitting up there, looks like it's gonna sit a little longer, uncompressed, so that's good. So it has a little bit of down travel. And yeah, get that done. So that's not ideal. I put a big ugga-dug on it and it snapped that off. Oops. So that's really quite a bit not good, because that is, I guess, riveted or something. It's, that's not a bolt, that's some sort of stud, so that's not good. I don't know how I'm gonna get that back on there, but I got it off. It's coming off easy. I definitely used hand tools just in case. Well, I guess the internet says that one ought to either cut it all the way off, tap it, and stick a grade 8 bolt of this size through here, and you know, use that as the new mount. Or other people are saying to just cut the threads the rest of the way off and then weld another strip of thread on here, which I kind of like that idea then, because at least my weld, well, I guess I wouldn't have to do welding if I did the first option, but some people are saying that that'll bind because this isn't the right size. I don't know that I have any bolts that size. I kind of like the idea of welding onto there, although I don't know that I can get a clean enough weld to not mess stuff up with my current skill level. Okay, I figured what I'm gonna do. I still haven't built an extension cord for the welder, so I need to be over in that corner, which was kind of a flaw in my plan. I should have run it to like here, down to this post or something with my plug-in so I could actually reach things. But my plan is do the passenger side, see if I break that one. Hopefully I don't. Leave drivers off for right now. Get that done. Pull this out of the way. Get the Mercedes started, which I want to be driving anyway, and try to get that woken up a little bit. Put some seafoam in it, I think I'm going to. Get that out of the way. Back the Jeeper in there, back to where the welder is. Weld that on, weld the exhaust on. That'd be great. See, I need to weld it on because I need to start fixing things by welding. I think that's just a thing that needs to happen in my career that is here. So I'm gonna do it. We're gonna make it work. All right, well, I got that off without breaking it, but I did manage to break one of those bolts up there, so that's cool. That one, I guess I'll see if I can grab with vice grips and back out. If not, I'm gonna have to easy it out, but that is easier doable, I think. You know what they say, every quick shock swap is 2 broken bolts away from being an all-night job. Just kidding, this won't take all night. Alright, vice grips failed me in heat, so I'm gonna drill it out with a little smaller than 1/8 and try and easy out. Shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. I can reach, I think. Yeah. Overall, not going great. The size I started with was a little too small, so I tried to go up a size, which was dumb. And it's just barely bigger, and so it broke the tip of the next size drill bit out. So now my hole has a drill bit in the middle of it, and I'm not super confident that I can get that in, because the easy out was a little, so those need to fit in there in the taper. So I tried to grind it out. I didn't get to the bottom of it, ran out of room. So I think I'm gonna try the weld a nut onto the end of that and see if I can back it out that way. Yeah. Just gonna do all the welding stuff. I'm gonna get this ground off and then go over there, I guess. I already wiggled, so now I'm over here by the welder. I'm planning on using one of these, like rivet squared off guys that I pulled out of the bumper that had the chrome, that bolted the chrome on, because I'm not using those anymore. So I'm gonna cut the head off, clean it up, square it off a little bit, and do a little zip, 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 and see how it goes. Man, a Sawzall, even with a really bent blade, is quite an impressive tool for even for cutting steel. Like, that cut right through that. And so I angled it a little bit, around it a little bit, so in theory I can get a little deeper penetration. I did that on the stud as well, so I'll figure out how I can stick that on, and I'll do something. Poor Jeep, ready to needs some love. Anyway, fortunately, I was struggling to get this rigged up to get it square, but fortunately I found this giant horseshoe magnet in my yard at some point that I think I might be able to do something with holding on there. All right, I'm gonna use this 1/8" electrode with the amperage range 70 to 110 for 1/8, because it's round and I'm trying to get in the middle. Might be overkill. Is that overkill? I should turn it on a little bit. 1/8, how big around is this? Anyway, I want to get to the middle. Ready to go? See how it goes. I think I missed my spot, and that looks like it's a little too hot because it burned right through it. I'm gonna turn it way down. You know, that might be the saggiest, ugliest weld, but it is actually staying under its own weight. And it even held the vice grips for a minute earlier, so I'm gonna let that cool off a little bit. And that might actually hold. Am I proud of that weld? No, absolutely not. But relative to how poorly it was going up until this point, I am proud of that. So I guess that's something. Alright. The nut on the other thing under there, a little iffy, wasn't really working. I've tried building it up a little bit, so if I can maybe grab on that so I'm not that cool, and I'm going to weld this guy here. A little exhaust hanger in the meantime, get that shined up, and get a good bite on it. All right, again, not a pretty weld, but that took me even less time. And I think that's well, it's holding its own weight. So, I think that's gonna be quieter for us. So it's exciting. All right, I pulled this wheel to get better access to the stem, and I think, I cleaned it up. There's a lot of extra, it's not great by any means, but I think the thing will fit back on here, and there's material there, and it feels super solid. So will that fatigue crack and break? Maybe. But I ripped off the weld on the other one that I got up in there, but that pulled the broken drill bit out, so that's cool. So then I was able to drill my existing hole a little bit bigger, didn't break that drill bit off, and am now have an easy out. Did get an easy out in there, which it's still not turning, so I'm gonna go keep trying not to break the easy out, because that would be triply annoying. Yeah. All right, got this guy on, same size, not even, extra long stem for snagging on stuff, I guess. So shiny. we'll see how it holds up, I guess. Yeah, I stuck an extra washer in here to get a little bit off my weld nastiness. And the bolts up top were stripping, but I found a longer bolt that held her tighter. So it's been a real super successful job so far. All right, I'm gonna go back over and try to get the easy out. Well, I couldn't get the easy out to turn. I tried drilling it out bigger, and that wasn't really going anywhere, and I was running out of width. So I drilled it all the way through, and I'm gonna see if I can tamp it down and bend it in and just pull it out. All right, well, I can't seem to get that out of there. I got all the way drilled through, and I actually can reach the top of that through that hole there. Here. So I think I'm going to over drill it and slide a nut and bolt all the way through, and that's going to be my solution. Took me probably longer than I needed to get there, but my brain stopped working a while ago, so yay, it's super late. All right, got nut and bolt that'll fit through the hole. I'd verified I could get it on there. It might be a little short. I might need a little longer one to be able to fit through there and still thread the nut on before tightening it down. So double check that now, but actually ready to put this on after so long, but almost there. All right, finally got those in. New shock. Ooh la la. 3 bolt tries later. I need to get the right length. And new bolt, new shock over there. So slap my wheel back on. Clean up later, and I'm gonna go to bed. And that only took, you know, like 4 hours longer than it should have. Probably 5. That should have taken under an hour. But you know, next time I don't know what I learned from this. I got better at welding, so that's something. I'll take that as a win. Just like that, all back together. I think I'm gonna leave it here for tonight. Pull it out in the morning, because I feel bad. Rolling up the roll-up right now. My neighbors are across the street. But this just flopped right out of there. And so this was the second one I did, whichever one that was. So that was just flopping around in there. So that alone should make this a lot more better. And hopefully it rides good now. And hopefully bolts don't break, nuts don't fall off, you know, those sorts of things. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. And now we got Bilsteins all the way around. So big win there.